Hey, what's up, guys? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome to General Chemistry Lab 2, another semester, another lab, and much more fun to go. If you guys don't know me, so my name is Pete. I'm your primary lab instructor. I oversee all the lab section and design all the lab. In Gen Chem 1 lab, if you like any of those experiments, hey, I design those, yay. But if you don't like any of them, I didn't do it. Anyway, well, this course, so this is Chem 1085, so it's a continuation of Gen Chem Lab 1. Not harder necessarily, but will teach you a higher skill techniques. All right, we have a whole nine yards of fun waiting for you, so wait for it. Anyway, but first, the purpose of this video is to walk you through what you need to know, the course overview, and some changes from the Gen Chem Lab 1 and what we implement in this Gen Chem Lab 2. Okay. All right. First off, make sure you guys have the syllabus. So if you go to our course on Canvas, go to modules, and you're gonna see at the very top that's the syllabus. Okay. Make sure you download that or you keep it as your reference. Okay, we're gonna go through some of this in the syllabus just a little bit, but for sure we have to talk about the requirement. All right. If you took Gen Chem Lab 1 with me, I think you guys know that. If you don't, let's go through this with me. We need not me. You need safety goggles. Any type is fine. Okay, any type is fine. We just want some protection, but we prefer the one that have we call splash proof. It go over your eyes, cover the whole thing. Okay, but anytime is fine. If you wear glasses, and I think some of you know that glasses is not enough. Okay, too many holes, too many opening. Right, so we want something that can go over your glasses and to protect your eyes. Okay, contact lens. Try to avoid if you could, right? If you wear contact lens and some chemical, especially an acid, gets to your eyes, it takes some time to take your contact lens off, and that's you allow the reaction time on your eyes. Basically, your eyeball is the reaction flask, and you don't want that to happen. Okay. All right. So make sure. So we have some of this for you. So if you don't have it or you lost it from the first semester, talk to your TA. We'll supply you a pair. Okay. I think most of you have it. So scientific calculators, we prefer the one that have a solar panel, so you don't have to worry about doing the exam like it's gonna die on you. The lab coat also will supply it. Talk to your TA if you don't have one or you lost. Again, we have different sizes. Okay. Now lab notebook. So the one I show in here, that's the one that we have in the bookstore. But if you don't want to buy those, I know it's expensive. Anytime is fine. Okay. You might have heard the type that have carbon copy. These two have carbon copy. All right, but it's not critical. Any type of lab notebook, any type of notebook, regular notebook is fine. Okay, you just want to write something down for your observation, for taking notes or something like that. Now, during in the lab, so you can take notes or write your observation using pen, not pencil. Okay, so we're gonna practice good taking notes observation in the lab. So no pen. I said wrong. No pencil, just a pen. We recommend you have your own Sharpie. If you don't, we have some in the lab. But the Sharpie is we use a Sharpie primarily for writing on a glassware. It's really easy to write, and it won't come off unless you use acetone, which is also available in the lab. Okay. If you don't want to buy it, don't worry. We have some for you. All right. Next one, if you haven't taken this already from Gen Chem Lab 1, in Gen Chem Lab 2, we require you to take the plagiarism test from Indiana University. So you're gonna go to the link, look at the syllabus, you'll see that link. All right, it will take you to this page. You're gonna go to click right here. I am an undergraduate college student or advanced high school student. Click on that. It will link you to the sign up page. Okay, you're gonna click on right here. Make sure you sign up first with your tool and email. Once you have all the confirmation, go through the process, and now you can log in and then take the test. Okay, if you haven't done it, so make sure you do it. The due date is by Sunday night before the lab one start. Okay, the TA will check it. Anyway, all right, the last one before we start the lab. So bring your smile, please. All right, we this lab supposed not to be stressful, maybe some a little stressful, but supposed not to be. We should go to the lab, have fun, crank up the music, and just laugh and having fun, hanging out, doing experiment. Okay, so bring some real smiles. All right, come with a good attitude. All right. If you have the syllabus, so on the first page, I made the table of content. So if you want to see something, if you want to refer to something, you can just look at right here, and then it will direct you to the page that you want to read. Okay, we're gonna go to the grade breakdown. So it's on page 2. Flip to the page 2 at the bottom left corner, right there. That's the grade breakdown. All right. Now let's look at the components of this lab. Okay. All right. The first 4 right here are your weekly assignments, which means that you do this, keep repeating it every week. All right. First off, you're gonna start with the pre-lab quizzes. If you took this class with me last semester, you know what it is. Okay. All right. You can find pre-lab quizzes right here. So if you go to the first page on Canvas, you're gonna see quizzes on the top left corner, right there. All right. Click on it. All right. Do you see all the pre-lab quizzes? Where are the pre-lab quizzes? These are pre-lab quizzes. These 2 are not, but I'll go over those in a bit. Okay, so all the pre-lab quizzes will be labeled pre-lab quiz 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way to 9. It might change a little, depends on the semester, but basically you're gonna see something like this. All right. I understand you take a lot of classes, and there are too many due dates to memorize, put in your planner, right? But for this class, I'm gonna try to help you make things easy. Everything in this course is due at 11:59 midnight, basically, right? Midnight before the lab day. All right. Pre-lab quizzes, lab reports, all right, are due at midnight before the lab day, except the pre-lab notebook that's due when you walk in, because we just want to see if you are prepared or not. Okay. All right. That's a pre-lab quiz. So every week you're gonna take that. All right. If you have the lab on Monday, it's due on Sunday night, the day before, something like that. All right. Move on to the pre-lab notebook. We want to see if you are prepared before you go to the lab. All right. So we ask you to turn in when you walk in to the lab of that week. Okay. Let's take a look at the pre-lab notebook real quick. So of course, it's written in your lab notebook. All right, any notebook works. You turn in when you walk in. If it got carbon copy, you can turn in your carbon copy, or you can turn in the original, whatever work best for the TA and for you. Okay. The components. So we look for your name, of course, your partner's name. If you have a partner, title, date, TA's name, purpose, hypothesis, or something like that. Yeah, most of you guys know about this. Now, table of reagents. Some of you spend a lot of time on table of reagents if there are a lot of reagents. So easy for you. As most of you are going to spend a lot of time on the first aid. Okay. Now, some of you may know that when you look for first aid, some of them have similar or maybe even identical first aid. You can just see, for example, if sodium hydride and hydrochloric acid have similar first aid, you could for sodium hydride, you write everything, all right? But for the hydrochloric acid, you just write C, the first aid of sodium hydride, something like that. If there's something different, you copy this, just the one that's similar, and whatever different you can write at the bottom, all right? So save your time. Don't rewrite everything on your first aid, please. Okay, don't spend too long on the first aid, but make sure you know what to do when things happen. Okay. Now flow chart. There's a detail on Canvas how to write a good flow chart. So go look at those. Okay. Now the flow chart must be detailed enough so you can conduct the experiment without looking back to the lab handout, to the procedure basically. And the lab handout is not allowed. Okay. It's not allowed. You cannot look up in the lab handout during the lab either. All right, so the TA will check that. So make sure that you make your good flow chart. Okay. If you have any question about flow chart, ask your TA, ask me, ask the head TA. We all can help you, any of us. All right. All right. That's the pre-lab notebook. So when's the pre-lab notebook deal again? When you walk in. Good. When you walk in. Okay. Everything else deal the Sunday at midnight before the lab day. Only the pre-lab notebook have to be turned in when you walk in. Okay. All right. The in-lab assignment. So what are we looking for in your in-lab? Let's take a look. So make sure you wear everything properly. You show up on time. I'll give you 10 points already out of 20. Okay. And the TA will look at the way you collect data during the experiment. So first of all, make sure you use just a pen, no pencil, no liquid paper, anything that like erase the pen. Okay, not that. Let's say if you write something wrong, you don't want that. What do? Some of you remember, you cross it out, okay, and write the correct number. You never know the thing, the data that you cross out that might be the correct one. You never know, so leave that in there. Okay. Now, so use a pen when you want to write something directly to your lab notebook. Do not write on your scrap paper. Okay. I experienced this direct experience from me when I took a lab course when I was an undergrad. I wrote something in the scrap paper, and at the very end of 3 hours lab, I lost the whole thing. So, and the scrap paper is harder to lose compared to a lab notebook. I think we can agree. We all can agree on that, right? So use a pen. Okay. The TA will grade you during the lab. All right, that's in lab assignment. So 20 points total. All right. Now, next one, the lab report. Okay. Guess when's the lab report is due? Midnight before the lab day. Good. Everything is due midnight before the lab day, except the pre-lab notebook. Okay. You're gonna type the lab report must be typed, and you will turn it in on Canva to upload it. All right. We use turn it in, which is the plagiarism check. All right. So if let's say like a student plagiarizes a copy sentences or paragraph from any sources, Turnitin knows. They have like a big, very big database. Okay, so be careful on that. So all the your lab report must be written by yourself. Even if you have the lab partner, do not share. Okay, you can share the data because of course you did the same lab, right? But the lab report must be written individually. Okay, all right. Now these are for lab one. Okay, the lab one will prepare you for the whole course. So on the look at the schedule when the lab one is. So when you go on when you enter the lab, so for lab one, make sure you bring your laptop with an Excel software on it, not Excel application. Excel application just can do a lot of things. All right, if you want a software, you can download it for free if you are Tulane students. Okay, we'll teach you how to plot graph basically, and you're going to use that for the rest of the semester. All right. Once you're done with the in lab assignment in lab one, you're going to go take lab one plotting graph quiz. We want to know if you understand how to do it, and you can take multiple times. Okay, so don't worry, like no stress at all. All right, you finish everything inside the lab, no extra work whatsoever after. Okay. Now at the very end, so we have a test lab. That's the very last lab. Okay, so make sure you guys know when that is, and the lab cleanup after. All right. Okay. All right. Now lab rules. Okay. Some of you, if you took Gen Chem Lab 1 with me, so you know this already, but just want to confirm that if you never taken a class with me before, let's go over this together. There are 10 labs total. All right, there are 10 labs total. We allow you to miss only 2 labs. If you miss up to 3, that's automatic F. Okay, if you don't turn in a lab report, that's also 1 lab absence. We count as 1. Yeah, you can do only 2. Number 3, you get F right away. Receiving 0 for whatever reason, that's also a lab absence. All right, so we think that if you go to the lab, you write a lab report, you cannot get 0. No way, you get 0. All right, if you get 0, it must be for some other reason. All right, plagiarize is another. That's one reason. If you plagiarize lab report, copy from your friend or whatever reason, the whole labs are 0. Pre-lab, in-lab, and lab report. Okay, we understand some of you have other stuff to do, and you, whatever reason, you could be late, so we allow you to late up to 30 minutes. Okay, up to 30 minutes, but we take 10 points off. If you are late over 30 minutes, that's 1 absent. We don't allow you to do the lab. Okay, so please communicate with your TA if you're unable to attend the lab. All right, so we have a lot of this question: what's going to happen, and what do we do if you can't go to the lab? Well, there are a lot of reasons, I know. Okay, but we allowed you only these 4 reasons: sickness, traveling with the sport team, death of immediate family, and a court appearance. Okay, whatever, if one of these fit in your absence, so make sure you provide the documentation. Okay, no later than 1 week of your absence. All right, let's say if you can't go to the lab on the 14th of the month, you have time until the, was it 14 times 1 week, 21st. That's the last day you can submit your the documentation why you can't go to that lab. All right, after that we won't accept any documentation, and that will count as a lab absence. Okay, all right, let's say I think most of you can do this. All right, usually most of the time it's coming. For example, like the sport team. All right, the signet, that's what you don't know that. All right, anyway, so let's say you have a document you submit to the TA, send an email to your TA. You are allowed to attend another section. All right, then another section that's available, so you have to look on Gibson. Make sure you know, don't go to the full one. All right, now let's say if you're sick, a lot of this happen, very common. Okay, if you're sick and you can't attend another section, you're sick for the entire week, what do you do? Well, after you have submitted the documentation to your TA, email them, him or her. Okay, you are allowed to obtain data from one of your classmates and write the lab report as if you were in the lab. Okay, only one thing that come the downside of doing this is you will lose 20 point in lab portion, because this portion is required you to be in the lab. Okay, so that's what we can help you with, so you can get the other 80, which is, I mean, still pretty good, right? Not like losing a whole 100 points. All right, now real quick. So during the lab, what do you do? What can you do? All right, cell phone, speakers, electronic devices, we are allowed. You can use that. Try not to play a game, please. Okay, social media, you can use it. I'm cool with that. Social media is everywhere right now. All right, but I won't tolerate this. All right, no food, no drink of any kind. Gum, that's usually very common, right? Please don't chew gum in the lab. All right, we try to avoid any type of food and drink and contamination, and you're exposed to the chemicals. There are too many chemicals already, so try not to make yourself vulnerable to this. Earbuds, headphones are not allowed. If you want to listen to music, speaker is fine, all right, but make sure it doesn't interrupt other people, other students, okay? But anything that cover your ear, so just in case of emergency, the TA shout out loud, okay, get out of the lab, fire, whatever reason, and you have earbud or you have the headphone on, you can't hear that. That's, yeah, so so we don't allow those. All right, lab handout, no, don't bring lab handout either, so you have the flow chart. Okay, now before leaving the lab, ask your TA for your signature. So wash your hand, wash your station, common area, whatever. All right, ask your TA, okay, come check me out real quick, and the TA will sign. Your TA will have like the table like this. Okay, so let's say you're done, the TA will just give you in lab point and then check you out. All right, if you didn't wear goggles, he or she might take some points off and then check you out, something like that. All right. Now most of you know this, but make sure we're on the same page here. So what to wear in the lab? Any type of shirts look like that are good. Okay, I know some of you go to the gym on pump day, during arm day, you want to show your arms, but not in the lab, please, just for safety reason. I think you guys know that. Okay, especially if you deal with an acid, you take Gen Chem 2 lab, more acid involved. If some of you go to organic chemistry lab, even stronger acid will be used. Okay, so be very, very careful. So again, no skin shown, right, from the waist down. Any long pants, we love long pants. Okay, again, no skin shown. Okay, so there are two ways to cope with this. Wear longer socks or put your pants down if you could. Okay, try to not to do this, not to show your ankles. Okay. All right. No skin, same thing, right? Guys and girls are same thing. So the cutoff jeans pretty popular, so do not wear that either. All right, ladies, if you have long hair, what do you do? Remember, you cut your hair off. Yes, right. I'm joking. No, do not cut your hair off. You can tie your hair up, please. Okay. Long nails. Well, you have to talk about like how long the nail is. The TA will tell you. Okay, so please ask your TA. Long nail is fine, but if it's too long and it might turn to be a hazard, you should not. Okay. Earrings, so the little one is fine, but as big as that, be careful. It might catch on something, and that could produce a hazard as well, an accident. Necklaces. So if you can take this off, please just take it off for a little. Yeah. Okay. If you could. How's about the hat? The hat is good, right? So put your hair intact. Okay, the hat is good. Really, hat is fine. The hair product, if you wear gels, wear something like put spray on, it's fine. But don't bring those into the lab because those are flammable. Yeah, usually organic solvent are highly flammable. Highly flammable. Okay, so basically safety attires, so hair pullback, safety goggles, protective gloves, we provide you all this. Okay, except not your hair. So proper clothing, we give you the lab coat, no open ankle and closed toe shoes. Right, we got quite a small amount of student walk to the lab with a flip flop or sandals, so please don't do that. Okay, all right, that's pretty much all you need to know. Now before we close this video, and before you walk into the lab, two things I want you to do. Okay, so make sure we on the same page here, right, and do this before you go to the lab. Number one, read the course policy real quick. All right, if you go to the first page of the syllabus, you'll see on page number 7, that's the course policy. All right, make sure we're on the same page here. Okay, not like at the end of the semester you got this point taken off and you just like complain about it. But there's a policy, so make sure you read that first. It's just one page. All right, and once you finish with this video, please go to take before your first lab day quiz. Okay, this quiz is due on Sunday night at midnight before the first week of the lab. Okay, all right, I'm so happy to have you for this course, and I'll see some of you guys in the lab. If you have any question, you can ask me, ask a head TA, ask your TA. Yeah, we are here to help you. Okay, all right, I'll see you in the lab, and good luck with your first week of school. See ya.